please join me in giving a warm welcome to Hartoon Weiss.
Good morning.
She's the head of global accounts at TikTok. Joe Papasil, the industry manager of entertainment at Meta, and two of our top performing creators in the Amazon Influencer Program, Vivian Rodriguez.
Hello.
And Kristen Tanzer.
Hello.
What tips do you have for these brands to still make authentic connections with their audiences, even if they aren't influencers?
The community is one that accepts and responds to creativity. That is not creative for creative's sake. That is because there is a new dialogue and conversation happening. There are meaningful discussions and connections. We're starting to see the next generation move to TikTok away from a Google, for example, because Google is a search for information. TikTok is a search for does it work? So you're starting to see efficacy become much more important in the dialogue and in the meaningful exchange you have with your community. 72% of people say they've discovered something on TikTok. Know that there are so many people on the platform that you can take inspiration from. And you also need to understand that creative bravery is rewarded. You don't need all of that money now to make so many different types of campaigns. Your brands, your stories, your content platforms have so many different dimensions to them. This kind of bravery and these examples of really connecting with the community and telling the stories that people can relate to is what allows you to tell your brand voice in a very different way and leaning into this kind of brave, trending communication vehicle.
How do you advise brands to best use your platform versus a more influencer-focused audience?
Some of you have heard me say this, but I think about our publishing partners as the original creators, thinking like a creator. You set trends, you educate, you entertain, you launch products. And so if you think about that, if you lean into the consumer trends or what we're watching our users do or what other brands are doing, think like a creator. Design for short form. Embrace the new products.
The best practice is creativity. Hands down, it is an economic multiplier. There is nothing that will drive a relationship, scale, recall, memory, feeling, which you cannot sell outside of creativity. Creativity is about the assets, not the ads.
What are top publishers doing to engage their audience, and are there any tips you can share?
We've seen that the performance gains from when a publisher runs a partnership ad or branded content compared to a BAU execution from that brand alone is oftentimes 30% higher, particularly in Brand Lift. We can now measure conversions on branded content and limited data sharing exercises, so you can tell this full funnel story. So my advice there is to be confident in the impact that your brand represents.
Have you seen any business or publisher content that you've felt inspired by? And how do you think publishers and influencers can amplify each other?
So I follow Who What Wear, so it's a publisher I really connect with. And what I really like is that they'll have roundups of, I'm talking about the jeans, like trying to find the best jeans. And so it helps me in what I'm trying to do, putting together like a curation of different products, and it's timely, right? I feel like that's really helpful. And in terms of working with creators, I love when they do roundups and they feature us. So it's like a win-win.
What do you think is the special sauce for viral content on TikTok, and how can publishers tap into this?
It's really hard, and all of you know that, and so does the creator community. There's no way to predict virality. What we need to do as your partners is think a little bit longer and get you into beyond the viral. So we need to help you think about unique TikTok approaches that give you a wide breadth of content so that you can always have a stake in a play, irregardless of virality, theme, content, trend. We need to make sure we can give you breadth. You go way beyond the single spike, and we need to give you an opportunity to really live in the ecosystem and in the community.
How do we stay up to date on what is trending on TikTok?
You really just need to spend time on the platform to watch what's happening in the community, to watch the digital behavior migrate. So the only way to stay on top of the trend is to spend time with the platform and honor the community that gives us their time and spends time with you. And that's really just the simplest way to do it. It's just more time learning.